morning. Just wanted to give a quick update. Oh, by the way, I'm wrapped up in the new blanket that my grandma made me because, like I've said before, I have the best grandma ever. The infusion yesterday went fine. It was fairly quick. And then we did labs afterwards. And so my platelet count went from like 34 to, I don't know, it doubled, 68 maybe. I don't know, I might be making up that number, but it's still stupid low. I think because the bottom of normal is like 150, but it's obviously not as low as it was before all this mess started. So that's good. My doctor didn't call me and tell me, like, oh man, this didn't work. So I'm gonna take that as a green light to go ahead and go in tomorrow to get my injection. Because like I've said before, the injection has no side effect on my immune system or anything like that, because all it's doing is suppressing an amino acid in my body so the cancer cells can't grow. So it has no bearing on my immune system. So yeah, but it was interesting because there was a bunch of running around, and everything had to come together like very last minute, because I learned that platelets have an expiration date, which makes sense, blood does too. But they called me at like 8 o'clock in the morning and they said, hey, there's a platelet shortage. And I was like, okay. And they're like, but we've found some platelets that expire at noon. So can you get here at 10? And I was like, yeah, of course. And they were like, okay, we will save these for you, as long as you can get here by 10. I'm like, of course, yeah. And they're like, oh, by the way, come to the hospital, not the cancer center. And I'm like, I'm glad you told me that, because I would have totally gone to the cancer center. So we get there and I learn, the whole process of platelets and how you have to give blood. It takes a lot of blood, a lot of giving blood to pull out platelets, and how it's like pooled platelets. So they even had to give me a Benadryl and I think a Tylenol, just because it's pooled platelets from a bunch of different people. So they are having a shortage of platelets, and it's from the storm that we had last week. And so and they're having a blood shortage and the whole 9 yards from stuff. And so I guess that there were places that I guess the Red Cross was offering places that were offering like $50 to $100 if people would go and give blood. I had never really even thought about it like that, because I've never been able to give blood with my stature or whatever. I just get really sick. So, but my grandma, back to my grandma, she's the universal blood type, and she gave blood all the time. Like, she was pretty famous, I say that, but she was very well known in Tulsa. Like, I don't know how often you can give blood, but every time that, she gave as frequently as she could. She was very, very well known at the blood center there in Tulsa, because she would show up as often as she could, because she was the universal blood type, and she felt like that was, a way of giving back and all the good stuff, which I felt so admirable. And which is why I tried to give blood when I got to be like old enough, and, did all the things, and then practically passed out, couldn't get back in my apartment, and then was sick for 2 days and thought, can't follow my grandma in that way. But all that to say, like, people like me really do depend on blood donors, I've learned. And this might end up being something that I have to do if the lomustine continues to wreck my immune system and my blood work every time I get it. So anyway, just a different perspective on things. If you're willing to give blood or able to give blood, when the blood truck or whatever blood van comes around to your work or whatever, consider it, because it directly impacts, people like me. So anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting. So yeah, but I feel much better. I'm perkier today. It's amazing what some platelets will do. Yay! Anyway, just wanted to share that little bit of information and pull back the curtain on how things are done. So have a great Sunday.